Longshot. Alright, ghouls and gals, like all my new movie reviews, I'm gonna try to keep it short, sweet, simple, and to the motherfucking point. Alright, let's get started. Longshot stars Seth Rogen, Fred Flarsky, which is a super hilarious name, and it stars Charlize Theron as a Secretary of the State / Charlotte Field. And it also stars O'Shea Jackson, and it also stars this beautiful woman here, and this super cool Indian dude right here. And that's pretty much everyone that stars in this film. Oh yeah, and it also stars Alexander Skarsgård. I want to start off by saying that this film, it really impressed me. It's a really cute, funny, and charming film. I never thought that I'd say this, but Seth Rogen is a fucking charm factory. Like, in the beginning of this film, I was like, I'm not gonna buy that someone like Charlize Theron would ever remotely be attracted to Seth Rogen until I started to kind of see it. I was like, you know what? Seth Rogen in this film, he's funny, he's smart, and like I said, he's a fucking charm factory. Fuck, I wanted to fucking date him after watching this movie. But yeah, Seth Rogen's character, Fred Flarsky, who is a really kind of a controversial journalist in this film, and he is like it's either my way or highway type of person, and he doesn't really see other people's side of the argument. He just sees himself as always being right, and which I feel like a lot of us, like men, women, you know, and kind of us men, can kind of relate to. We're very close-minded a lot of the times, and this film kind of reminds us to not be so close-minded and to see that maybe we shouldn't let politics and other silly things like that interfere with our friendships and stuff like that. And that's what kind of, I don't want to say that's the whole message of this film, but that's one of the messages that this film tries to drive home. And it's not like bashing you over the head with it or anything. It's kind of like, I don't want to say that it's subtle, but it, you know, it doesn't bash you over the head with it. And Charlize Theron's character, Charlotte Field, who's also the Secretary of State, who's planning on running for president in 2020, her character is really cool. They found a good way to make her seem strong but likable and not bitchy, and she even kind of comments on it in the film, her character. You know, she has this one line where she's kind of talking about, like, if I, you know, have my voice too low, I sound stupid, and if I raise my voice too high, I sound like a bitch. And I think that's kind of like true, you know, like I feel like women at times in positions of power, they have to kind of walk on eggshells so they don't seem like bitchy or anything like that. And I like that this film kind of, you know, addressed that. In this film, it's actually really funny. It's a really funny film. I don't want to say that it's the funniest thing that I ever seen, because it isn't, but for a romantic comedy, it's a really fun, charming romantic comedy. And yeah, sure, it kind of goes through some of the same tropes that a lot of other romantic comedies do, or, you know, but it does them in a way that you don't feel like, oh god, this again. You kind of are like, oh, that's cool. And you know what? In the world of romantic comedies where they all feel like kind of cash grabs and nobody's really caring about what they're doing in the film, this is a breath of fresh air. Longshot is a breath of fresh air in the romantic comedy world. And I am going to suggest that you go out and see it just for how charming Seth Rogen is in this film and how much chemistry him and Charlize Theron surprisingly have with one another in this film. Another thing that I found really cool in this film was this character. She's really funny because she's such an asshole to Seth Rogen the whole film, and towards the end she kind of warms up to him, but throughout most of the film she's like a real fucking asshole to him, and it's funny to see, you know, that kind of character in this film. And I'm going to kind of cut it short right there, guys, because I do want y'all to go out and watch The Longshot, and I don't want to give away too much of it, and I don't want to, like, force it in your face or anything, so I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10, just for how much chemistry these characters have with one another and how much of a breath of fresh air that this film is. And maybe not a lot of people are going to feel what I feel about this film, but I really feel that this is a 7.5 out of 10 film, and it's a worth it watch. I suggest you go out and watch it right now. Well, I'm Ryan T, and I'll see you in the next one.